Assalamu alaikum. Ciao, konnichiwa, bonjour, hola, guten morgen. Hi, it's Ken at 10. How are you? Good morning, good morning, good morning. We're here for James Alexander Estate Agents. My name is Ken, hence it's Ken at 10. If you haven't been here before, then thank you so much for joining us. And if you return, well, thank you for joining me yet again for another day and another Ken at 10. How are you doing today? I hope you're well. A few things going on, he said, struggling to get his notes. First thing is, of course, we've got the Housing Secretary change, haven't we? Robert Jenrick's gone. Michael Gove replaces. That's a scary thought, isn't it? What will he bring to the table, I wonder? We know he wanted to be Prime Minister, didn't he? That was the thing about Gove. So we can expect him to want to make some sort of statement in being in post, I would guess, some dramatic move. So I'm intrigued to see what he brings. It seems to me, though, that we get a housing minister just about every year on average. Nobody can solve the housing crisis. I don't think there's as much appetite as they would suggest. There's lots of sound bites, but they don't really seem to do much effective anyway. The stamp duty holiday was one thing they did which helped with the pandemic and coming out of recession for sure, or making sure we don't get one. But outside of that, most of the things they do seem to be ineffective, really, don't they? But it'd be interesting to see what he brings. You'll hear the news on what he does right here at Ken at 10. Let's go through the headlines today. It is, first of all, the cheapest postcodes in London have been revealed. And this is interesting. When you look at the price per square foot of somewhere like London versus somewhere like one of the cheapest postcodes, it's just crazy. Thamesmead is nearly always Thamesmead, isn't it? Found to be the cheapest in London for property at an average cost of £387 per square foot. That's 0.58 times the London average. And the most expensive is Kensington and Chelsea SW3 postcode. And that topped the list at £1,721 per square foot. How crazy is that? And then he goes on to say about the reshuffle. We all know it's taken place. Robert Jenrick, the reason he was ousted out post was partly because I think he's been made the fall guy for one of the Tory donors was granted some planning permission on a development. And I think that the whole Tory party knew this, and he's been made the fall guy for it. But nonetheless, it means that we've now got Michael Gove. I don't know why that scares me slightly. So I think he'll be able to make a statement, and I don't think it will necessarily be a good one for the property market, but it remains to be seen. We will keep you advised right here. What else is going on today? The lockdown apparently is being blamed for reaching or lack of reaching affordable housing targets as usual. And Cornwall's clamping down on the letting of former council houses. Not much there, really. Ground rent rises have been scrapped by Countryside, which is good. You know, there was this doubling of ground rents, and it was an awful stitch up for people buying new properties from many new build properties. Inflation's up and it soars in record jumps. And this is interesting because if you've got your money in the bank and you're earning 0.5 or 1%, then actually your money is going backwards because inflation's running currently, according to the Consumer Prices Index, at 3.2%, and that's up from 2% in July. The ONS said that the size of the jump was likely a result of the government's Eat Out to Help Out scheme from August 2020. It also showed that food and non-alcoholic drink prices surged. We're also finding fuel, supplies, materials. I mean, inflation is going through the roof, in my view. What's interesting about that is what we do next. Normally, in a time of inflation, the government looks to control it. And they look to, well, the Bank of England looked to control it through rising interest rates. And obviously, just coming out of the pandemic, they can't do that. You know, we're still looking at record low inflation, interest rates rather, and record high inflation. The theory is that the inflation is a blip. I'm not sure it is. What happens with inflation is that goods and services prices go up, and therefore wages go up to try and meet those costs. And then with that, the salary multiples go up, meaning that affordability is better for those who are buying property, and therefore property prices follow that curve. So it's intriguing for that reason. Also because rents tend to rise in line or above inflation. Certainly right now we're finding a huge rent jump here in the UK, and that's not surprising. As people return to the cities and the demand for accommodation goes up, so we're looking at very serious problems for many people looking for rental property. Undersupply is massive, and new landlords are few and far between, especially with the next big hurdle and challenge being the 2025 C or above rating required for energy efficiency in order to rent your home. This could be a big challenge for landlords, and I'm intrigued to see how that one unfolds. It's still got to go through Parliament, and we're looking carefully at that and closely, and we'll keep you advised as to what goes on there. Here in Norbury, in SW16, the weather is beautiful. It's a cracking day. Sunny, looks like a summer's day. Let's hope it continues. It's always great when you've got a day like today, because when you show properties, everything looks so much better in the sunshine, doesn't it? You know, we can't rely on it all the time. I always say, you know, if you love it in the rain, you're going to absolutely adore it in the sunshine. But the reality is, when the sun's out and you go out in that garden, it just feels special, doesn't it? That sun, you know, just something about it. Apart from that, we've got a busy day on valuations, lots of negotiations going, lots of offers coming in as well. It's crazy here. Pleased to report. So I hope you have a fantastic day. Thanks so much for watching yet again. And we'll be back same time tomorrow with another broadcast. Hopefully tell you a little bit more about what Gove says. We'll see. Take care. Stay safe. Have a fantastic day. Ciao, guys. There's a meeting today. Yeah, there's a meeting today. I think you'll have to, because we're not going anywhere.
What about the works that need to be carried out? We get price reduction. Is it going to go for price reduction or what?
Well, what he said is that if we'll have the meeting,